Hello and welcome to Story Meadow, stories for car journeys, bedtime and any other quiet time. My name's Marion and I'll be sharing the story with you today. But before we start, I'd love to share about my children's book, which is brand new and has only been out for a few months. It's been really exciting to transform one of the stories into a real life book that children can hold in their hands. It's called Billy Bunny and the Woodpecker Nest, and you can buy it on my website for $9.99. It's a very special story, and I've had the greatest luck and pleasure to have my best friend Claire Warwick illustrate it with me, and the pictures are just absolutely gorgeous. And Billy has been brought to life with these gorgeous illustrations. So I hope you enjoy them. Please take a look at the website. It's storymeadow.co.uk if you are interested in buying a copy. Today, I'd like to say a big hello to Aria and Harley. Thank you so much for coming to the summer camp. It was so fun watching you create your builds, and you had so many wonderful ideas. Well done. Let's take a first big breath in through your nose and slowly back out through your mouth. And this time, put your hands out in front of you as if you were holding a lovely hot chocolate in your hands. You're going to breathe in the smell through your nose. Smell that lovely chocolate. And then blow out softly through your mouth to cool it back down. Lovely. I think it's time to start our story. Are you ready? Billy Bunny finds an egg at the beach. Now, Billy is getting very good at finding eggs here, there and everywhere. And sometimes he manages to find who the egg belongs to. Usually he does. Let's see what happens to this one. One day, Billy Bunny was making a sandcastle at the beach, and it was quite a windy day. Sometimes at the beach it can be really quite windy, and all of his friends were there and they were trying to make sandcastles, but they were giggling because the wind was actually making it really tricky to use their spades properly. Sometimes the buckets were blowing all over the beach and they had to run to find them, and Billy's bucket blew all the way over to the sand dunes. He went running after it, giggling as anything, and his hat was blowing off as well, and he had to hold on to that as he ran. And Squirrel Lily was laughing at Billy, saying he looked so silly. And just when he reached down to find his bucket, he spotted a little egg. Oh, thought Billy. And a few steps away from that, there was another egg. And a few steps further, another and another. There were lots of little eggs, and they were spread out all along the beach, not in a nest, all spread along. Now, Billy thought this was very unusual because eggs need to be in nests, they need to be protected, and if the eggs stayed like this, they would get trodden on, or worse, they might get eaten. Now, Billy collected up the eggs into his little bucket, and then he went running back over to his friends. He said, "Squirrel Lily, look what I found all scattered along the beach. Lots and lots of eggs. Who do you think they belong to? Do you think they're seagull eggs?" Squirrel Lily looked closely. "I don't know," she said. "Look, the seagulls look bigger than that. Those look really quite small, don't you think?" Billy wasn't sure. They went over to the nearest seagull, one that looked a little bit more friendly than the greedy ones that tried to eat his ice cream. And Billy showed the seagull the eggs and said, "Do you know what this is?" And the seagull said, "Oh, yes, I know what that is. But it's not tasty just yet. Give it a few more days." "What?" said Billy. "Tasty? You can't eat this." "Oh, you wait and see," said the seagull, and then she flapped off. "Oh," said Billy, "I didn't like the sound of that. I hope she doesn't eat whatever is inside this. We need to protect them, Squirrel Lily." Squirrel Lily nodded her head, and they made a little den, a little shelter to keep them under until they found who the eggs belonged to. Now Little Hedgehog stayed in the den with the eggs and made sure no seagulls came creeping in, and Billy and Squirrel Lily went walking up and down the beach in search of some other birds. But they couldn't see any. The only seabirds they could see were all seagulls. "This is so strange," said Squirrel Lily. "Who could the eggs belong to?" Just then, they saw Little Fox come running, sprinting down the beach as fast as could be. "They're hatching, Billy. They're wiggling and they're hatching. Quick, quick, come and see." Billy and Squirrel Lily went running back up the beach, and they dove into the little den where Little Hedgehog was with the eggs. He said, "Look, watch that one. It's wiggling." And sure enough, one of the little eggs was wiggling, and the shell was beginning to crack. And out popped a little beak. But it was an unusual shaped beak, and it was kind of green and a little bit brown. And then the little creature wriggled itself out, and it had fins and a shell. It was a little turtle, a tiny green turtle. "Oh, how sweet," said Squirrel Lily. "Oh, how lovely. But where's its mum?" said Little Hedgehog. "We need to find the turtle's mum." Now, Billy knew a little bit about turtles, and he explained to his friends. He said, "Actually, turtles don't need their mums when they're born. Their mums don't stay on the beach with them. In fact, turtles almost always stay in the water. They only come out to lay their eggs in their nests, and then they go back into the sea. So the babies, they have to make their way to the sea all by themselves, and they find their mums and dads in the sea further along." "That's so brave," said Squirrel Lily. "That's amazing," said Little Hedgehog. "Look how far they have to go from here to the sea. That's a long way for a tiny little turtle." The friends watched as the little eggs hatched. There were lots and lots in Billy's bucket. In fact, there were 10 little turtles flapping away in the little bucket, and they were so happy to have brothers and sisters, and they were giggling away. And Billy decided he would take them over to the rock pools for their first ever swim. He said, "Do you want to have a little dip? Look, let me show you. You can dip in here." The turtles loved it, and they were brilliant swimmers. They were very slow in the sand, but as soon as they were in the water, they whooshed and flapped their little fins and went this way and that way, and Billy loved watching them. But he noticed that up over his head, there was some flapping, and there was some squawking. "The seagulls," said Squirrel Lily. "What are they doing here?" Billy said, "I think seagulls eat baby turtles. I think we need to get them out of here as quick as we can." Now the friends did a very good job of gently scooping up the baby turtles, and they popped them in their bucket with a bit of water, and they said, "Don't worry, we'll take care of you. We'll help you all the way to the beach, to the edge of the beach, and you're going to go into the sea now. You'll find your mum there." Now Little Fox was shooing away the seagulls and running circles around Billy and the bucket and Squirrel Lily, and Billy was really careful to carry the bucket gently to the edge of the water. And the little turtle said, "Bye, Billy, bye, Squirrel Lily, bye, Little Hedgehog, bye, Little Fox." And they popped them all into the sea. And they watched as their little friends started splashing and flapping and diving into the waves, safely into the ocean, ready to meet their other turtle friends and family. The end. Turtles are such special creatures. We actually don't get any in England because it's not warm enough. But if you're lucky enough to go on holiday to warmer countries, you might one day spot a little turtle, maybe out at sea, in the sea, or maybe if you're extra lucky, you might see some turtles hatching. That would be my dream one day to see that. That would be really special. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.